Sitting around the ballroom, they're talking about tomorrow when they're taking Johnny away. Said he wasn't no good, never done the things that he should. That's all the judge had to say. He went in the army when he was 18. Crazy young Irish and mean. Took a kid who was half gone all the way to be wrong with bloodlust and them 16s. His father, he thanks us for coming.
All right, we're back. Coming off a fucking heater of a night.
What a night.
A heater of a night. First off, Danny. I've seen Danny. I've always said it. I'm like the Bill Walton to the Grateful Dead of Danny Gillis comedy. I've seen most shows. I would say I've seen 60% of your shows, I think. By far, your best wasn't even close. It's just gotten so much better.
No one blew me harder than Matthew Fitzmaurice. I got off the stage and he would not let go of my hand. He was like, that was by far your best work.
It was unbelievable.
It was.
I thought it was great.
And funny line, I forget who's up next, but we'll go through that. But Will Noonan's like, see, he goes, that's what I'm fucking jealous about with Danny. He's like, yeah, if he bombs a joke, he can just start fucking dancing. The whole place goes nuts.
He was nervous. I think it was either Will or Gilligan was nervous, like that you had to follow Jeff.
Jeff murdered.
Yeah, so let's start at the beginning of the night.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's start from the beginning. First of all, somebody I got to thank right off the rip, Ryan McConville, who brought the sound system. So Ryan was an old cornhole guy. I knew through that and listens to the show, obviously, and he was like, hey, I got a great sound system, which was fucking awesome because, like, and then day of, I had a little bug out. Like, I'm like, I didn't ask him for any specs in this thing. Like, he has, like, a pro sound system. I mean, the thing was, that's a very tough room to have enough volume in.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
It was way better than last year.
Way better than last year.
Yeah. You could hear everything.
Yeah, so I got there early. I got there and set up the whole tarp thing or whatever we call it, the backdrop and top whatever. It still looks like a top. Set up the backdrop and funny story about that actually. So we're referencing our comedy night, which we had last night. In case you're just listening to this as your first show, and if you are, thanks for coming along. By the way, this is 3 years to the day, pretty much, since the show started.
Cheers, boys.
Let's go.
Cheers. 3 years.
Cheers.
Of mild success, moderate success. Here's the more moderate success of the Future Boys. So, anyways, Joe, I'm like running around Thursday and Friday trying to get some just stuff in line for this. And I'm like, fuck, I need that, the thing that holds up the backdrop.
Yeah.
So I called Joe. He's like, yeah, come by and get it. It's not there. He's like, did you bring it back? I'm like, I fucking brought it back. He's like, maybe Ferg has it. And Ferg's wife was there and he asked Carrie. She's like, I don't know. And I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm like, I'll just buy one on Amazon. Bought a cheap one. I'm laying in here on the phone Friday, look up in the fucking rafters. This is just sitting there in the back.
Is it?
I'm like, fuck. I called him like, dude, I'm so sorry. I have it. I'm like, I fucking have it. He's like, no. He's like, I think you forgot, dude. And I forgot. He's like, we worked it out as part of the sponsorship. It's ours now.
Oh, okay.
So we take it to anything we want. So anyways, I got there early, set up. People started fucking flowing in the doors. And it was like, we were more involved this year than we were last year. Sean really kind of ran it last year.
Yep.
So we helped a little bit more. But like Paul Gilligan got up there to start the whole thing. He emceed. He was fucking unbelievable.
I don't think you can find a better MC, to be honest with you.
No, because he has so much material that he probably did about 40 minutes.
I'd say more.
Yeah.
Over the course of the whole entire night. Yeah, it was
He probably did
great.
an hour.
Yeah, he did a lot, and it was all funny.
I'm pretty sure that Paul Gilligan hates me, by the way. I've said this, I don't know. I was like, I walked up to him and go, Paul, I'm Brennan, last year, he's like, 2 minutes, I'm going up. Like, and just gone. And then like at the end, I'm like, that was great. He's kind of like, yeah, great, awesome. And he did the same thing to me last year. I'm like, hey, we should have you on the podcast sometime. He's like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Suck your own dick.
So,
which I like that energy.
Same thing. I walked in the door, and I was like, fucking skin of my teeth before the show started. Yeah. Connor had a game in fucking Billerica. You know how we feel about Billerica people, you know? So we're there. I'm getting him dressed, and the fucking game before goes into overtime.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is worst case scenario.
Yeah.
This is my worst news I've heard all day. And I'm like, with other hockey dads, I'm like, dude, I got to get the fuck out of here. Someone stuffed one in the net. Finally, that game ended. Connor's team won, so they're on to the semis next week.
Let's go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, so I'm walking in, and Sean's at the table, so he's like, Fitz, you're all set. I go through, And the first person I see is Gilligan coming out. And I was like, Paul, like, he doesn't know me.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm like, Paul, what's up? I'm Fitzy from the podcast. He's like, yeah, all right, go ahead, go. I'm like, all right, good to see you too.
He's all business. I like that.
He doesn't, why would I think that he knows me? He doesn't know me.
That's just his personality.
That's how he is.
So when he first got there, he told me, he goes, 6:50 arrival. Texted me, and I was like, oh, perfect. You know what I mean? Like, people are still flowing in.
Yeah.
And he walks in, he goes, not like Danny, thanks for having me. He's like, hey, when we fucking start? And I go, buddy, you're emceeing. You can literally, so that's when he started fucking with the lights and shit. There is no better person. I will say this. If you were at the show last night and you got yelled at by Paul Gilligan, it means he cares.
Literally, dude,
Yeah.
I'm sitting there. I told this to Fitzy before you got here. I'm sitting there talking to Will in the back.
Yeah.
And Will's talking to me. Like, he's chatting me up. And Gilligan comes over and he's like, we got to shut the fuck up. We'll go outside. To me and Will. And I'm like, it's him. It's him. I felt like I was in school. Like, you know what I mean?
He's, and to be fair, like, we know we love the IA, right?
He's right.
It's a very, very hard room when you have a bar that big with 2 bartenders.
Yeah.
And per his request, the lights were on. So it didn't look like everyone had to settle down. It was a tough room, but a great room. I think people were
It was better than last year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, it was way better. And so the sound was way better.
Sound
First
was
of all,
way
the
better.
system was.
But I'm saying people talking were better than last year.
yeah,
Last year, people were talking a lot.
Yes. And you know what the guy Brian from the club was saying? Like, it's true. I didn't think about this. He's like, the reason it carries so much from the bar is that the back of the bar is all mirrors.
Yeah.
He's like, so it just fucking comes right
bounces.
back.
Yeah,
Bounce,
bounces
the
right
acoustics
back.
stink.
That said, the sound was unbelievable. Nolan Baker got up there first. Paul introduced him, and he did great. He was awesome.
Nolan's the fucking
Nolan's
best.
the man. He's such a good kid.
I died because he talk about going through like a bad joke.
Yeah.
So he had a joke and he was like workshop.
I'll work on
You know
it.
what I mean? He goes, I guess I'll have to work on that a little more. And everyone died laughing.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was funny. Nolan's good.
Yeah, he was great. And the he's a kid. You know what I mean? He's just going. So
Yeah.
it's like, even like, so then it was Jeff Clow fucking tore the roof off that fucking
Let me
place.
tell you something about Jeff Clow.
Yeah.
This is all due respect to all the other comedians. He was my favorite part of the night.
He cracked me up.
He fucking killed it.
Dude, when he started going in on the Catholic shit.
It was the best. It was the best.
Josh sent me a text. That's why I sent to you guys. Sent me a voice text this morning. It's just like, he sounds like somebody recorded it in the 80s because like it's recorded on Josh's like iPhone from the back of the room. He's like, you know, he does that whole thing where he's like, you know what the thing about Father Gagan was? Went my ass sideways. No, he goes, you know what went my ass sideways? Father Gagan's hog.
It was fucking great.
It was unbelievable. All the Irish guys were coming up to me. They're like, fucking Keys to Sunday.
That was my
Keys to Sunday.
that was my favorite part because
Fucking
he went through.
hilarious.
So the whole entire beginning and meat of the joke was hilarious. It's because now he's talking about Palm Sunday, where the priest used to hide the palms, and he's like, most of them put them up their ass, and then we knew where to find them. We just bend them over and spread their cheeks. He's like, yeah, we called it Keista Sunday. I started dying. I was dying.
Right after his bit, you come up to me and you just go, Bud, Keista Sunday.
It's gold.
It's so good.
Dude, Will goes, I was standing next to Will during that. That's when we got told to shut the fuck up. And he's like, I guess they did a show together 10 years ago, like when he was still doing it.
Were you there for this conversation?
No.
Can I interrupt you for a
Yeah,
minute?
go ahead. Yeah.
Dude, Jeff went up to Paul Gilligan. Were you saying he did a show with Paul or Will?
He did a show with Will.
All right, so he went up to Paul.
Yeah.
And Jeff goes, hey, Jeff, he goes, we did a show together. Paul goes, don't remember you. He goes, but I got to be honest with you. He goes, you got some good stuff. He goes, that gig, and he didn't like you too much, huh? And he goes, so he's like, oh, it was 10 years ago. And he tells the place, I forget the name of the place. It was down in the South Shore somewhere. And Paul goes, that place closed 20 years ago. Maybe lay off the sauce. You know, it was fucking great. Paul couldn't give a fuck less about Jeff Clow. It was great.
The best part about Jeff is, for someone who hasn't done it in years, he didn't repeat any jokes from last year.
Nothing from
it
last year.
was all fresh material.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is fucking
That was
great.
good.
Yeah.
He crushed.
He did
cried.
How
very,
long
very-
was he up there?
So, like, I thought that I was up there, what I said I was up there for, and Paul told me I was up there for 20. He had to have been up there for 15.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, Jeff was up there for 15,
He had-
and you went long, but
Yeah.
you were cooking.
Yeah.
And that's what, maybe I was standing with Sean O'Brien, and I was like, how, is there a limit, or is this just go? You know what I mean? And
Right.
he's like, dude, if he's doing this good, let them cook.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. No, I mean, there wasn't really a limit to what we got started early enough that like we had plenty of time.
Plenty of time. And I told the bartender on the member side, I go, you're gonna get a good fucking portion of these people coming over here.
Yeah.
Letting us
Ooh, yeah.
go. And they did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So going back a little bit, so we all had I had a table. You sat at Bob C's table.
Yep.
My table was Ryan, the guy who did the sound, his wife, great people, and then it was like my sister and her friends. I gotta bring this up first. So I text her. I bought the table, right? And I didn't want any money. Like, and this is not about like I was like
It's
bought the
100%
table.
about money.
No, it absolutely isn't. It absolutely isn't.
If it was me,
I'm
it would be.
I'm just making the comment that I bought the table. And nobody asked me to. I just did it. But I'm like, hey, where are we getting food from? You can bring on your own food. She's like, oh, we're all going to All Seasons before.
Nice.
I'm like, that's great. That's awesome. I'm setting up, so I got nothing. Like, so anyways, not that I
Can
ate.
you bring me a spare rib?
Yeah, no shit.
Bob C had more Chinese food than they have in Malden.
So shout out to Bob C. Fucking, he paid for that table too.
Yeah.
And he didn't ask me for money for that. And we ended up buying a bunch of Chinese food that I didn't even eat.
So anyways,
Bob C is a great coordinator. We talked about it last week when we went up to Mark's house. He set up the whole menu, bought all the food. He's that type of dude who's just gonna look out for everyone that is involved.
so I see him and fucking.
Friends like, shut up, Fitz.
No. I see him and Josh. I don't want to lose my thought. I see him and Josh talking, and I'm just like, I wish I could fucking hear what's going on here. And Josh goes, he goes, Bobby C came over, and I go, dude, you look great. You lost a lot of weight. And he goes, Bob just looks at me and goes, cancer. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Already working in the crowd.
Them two meeting is fucking.
Somebody
I mean,
came-
they've met before,
I
but
forget-
just seeing them together is fucking.
Somebody
great.
came up to Josh and was like, oh, this guy wants to meet you over there. And I'm like, here you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, everybody
Ladies.
loves Josh. Somebody was like, you look, as Gilligan said to him, oh, you look way too healthy for an iron worker. He's like, but anyways, the show was great. Jeff Clow was unbelievable. Then Sean O'Brien got up. He crushed.
I was next, and then Sean.
Oh, sorry. You had the place on fire.
Yeah.
Absolutely on fire. Like, I mean, I'm not blowing
I wasn't
you, but-
trying to fucking just be like, talk about me, but I was just trying to get you in the right order.
No, yeah, dude, I'm telling you right now, like, my sister was dying. Everybody was fucking dying. Some of the stuff, you hadn't done a lot of that stuff before.
That was all new shit.
It was all new shit.
Yeah.
I wanted to because, like, I knew a good amount of people in there, so I didn't want to be like, yeah, you're going to pay $40 for a ticket and fucking have the same shit.
Same thing. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? Because we like having, kind of like having at least like you and Jeff
Yeah.
and Sean. So it's like, you know, you got to kind of mix it up a little bit, which is tough because, I mean, like a guy like Gilligan, he has years of material to pull from.
And but guys like him, you can listen to those same jokes. The way he like operates. Just,
Well, so not jumping ahead too much, but Sean was next, and Sean repeated some jokes.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
No,
They're
they kill.
fucking
No,
hilarious.
they crush.
But he didn't repeat his whole set
Right.
from last year. It was like
No.
a couple jokes sprinkled in.
Yep.
And like I was hanging with the Monahans in the back for like most of it, and fucking I knew some of the jokes that were coming.
You're like,
and I'm
listen
like,
to this
I'm
one.
like,
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
hitting them. I'm like, wait till you hear this one. They're like, shut up, Fitzy.
Yeah.
So-
I was doing the same thing with Will Noonan when he was up there. I was like, this one's great, dude. You
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
listen to this
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Will's trying to write down what he's gonna write for the night. You know,
He
it
was
great.
so, yeah. And I got a good, for the Patreon, I got some great back and forth. Will walked in and we talked for like a half hour. And I got some further, if you are a Patreon member, you might remember the current Tommy Ahern saga. There's an additional addendum to that story
yeah.
that's
Yikes.
coming. It's a really good one.
Yeah. It's a good Patreon story.
Yeah. So Will was after Sean, and I I've watched everything. Will's special on YouTube. If you're out there
awesome.
and you haven't watched it, you can just watch it for free. It's fucking awesome. And I'm just like waiting. I'm like, do the fucking Mayflower bit. Do the Mayflower bit. And he did it at the end. It was so good. But it was great. There was one part. It was probably my favorite part of the show. It wasn't even a joke. It was people were kind of yapping a little bit, and Will's up there. And Gilligan stands up. He's like, shut the fuck up or whatever. He goes, and he's like, and Will's like, Paul, I got it. I have it.
Yeah.
And then he just starts laying into some kid about like, he's like, you can do coke later in the night. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the time of the night to do the coke. He was fucking unbelievable. It was just a great show. I can't thank Sean. Well, like
Sean B.
Sean B.
He's behind the scenes for us forever.
He is everything Andrew Fontana wants to be. He's the real deal. You know
No
what I mean?
fawns last night.
Buddy, I don't think Fonz likes us anymore.
I don't think so either. He
stopped
thinks
listening.
he thinks that I run the Fitzy runs the Instagram account. He's texted back.
Yeah. Fonz hates us.
By the way,
He's starting to get in shape and he forgets about
Yeah, he
his
forgets-
people.
I
that
gotta bring
forget
his
about him.
roots.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring this up. So we'll talk about it later. But the Success Lift, we have a chat in that app
Yeah.
where we all talk about like what our steps are, which is gonna be not great today for me. It's just
This whole weekend
a
was
lost day.
not
Yeah.
great for me.
And Fonz, somebody was ranked like the top 3 favorite types of wine, and Fonz wrote back, "I don't like strip clubs, so like I don't like any of those." And he didn't know they were wines. He thought they were the name of strip clubs.
Come on.
I missed it. Now screenshot it and send it to me. I'm like,
Cabernet.
yeah, Cabernet, like Pinot Grigio. He's like, I don't really like strip clubs.
So, like, do we really think he's that dumb?
Yes. Fonz, if you're listening, if you still listen to the show, shoot me a text.
Just let us know that you're still breathing.
Yeah. Fonz used to be a great scribe of the show. He used to have the number of swears we had.
I bet you he doesn't even have his clicker anymore.
Probably doesn't have his clicker.
Doesn't count swears.
Used to do double clicker.
Yeah.
He's probably listening to Bad Brain.
Probably listen to Bad Brain. Who wouldn't be these days?
Success lift.
Success Lift, yeah. It was just a fucking unbelievable night. Like, so it was funny because I'm talking to Will afterwards, and Will's like, dude, you should host this thing next year, right? He goes, you could host it. He's like, I'll work with you for like a fucking day. We'll do a whole thing. He's like, you can host it. And I'm like, I'd rather blow a guy behind here than try to follow Paul Gilligan as a fucking host.
Yeah.
I honestly think you could, though. I really do.
Maggie goes,
You love yourself so much where
That's
you
true.
could,
I do.
where you could just have
either-
a microphone and be like,
I get no-
yeah, we'll get the comics up. You got to listen to me first.
I get no medium gear though. Either I love myself or I hate my own guts. It's the only, like after this weekend,
We could write together though. All 3 of us could write shit for you to use as
yeah,
the
we'll
host.
see. Maggie goes because I originally busted her balls. So I was doing 5 minutes. She's like, I can't watch that, and I'm like, why not? And she's like, how much attention do you need? She's like, seriously, like she's like music, fucking podcast, like
So I'm not kidding. I don't even know if I told you guys this. I've said it year after year after year, but this past couple weeks ago, I was it sounds fucking stupid, but there was a guy I know who plays the bagpipes, and I'm like, I'm gonna do the bagpipes. So I come home all excited to tell my family, I'm like, I'm gonna play the bagpipes. Same exact day. How much shit do you need to do? How much shit do you actually need to
know.
do? But you
I
know
know.
what? I'm gonna learn the bagpipes.
I love it. I
It's
love
gonna
it.
be. I might have to learn 2 songs and I'll be fine.
Well,
Give me those 2 songs. Give me a couple pictures on Instagram. I'm in.
You
Back-
get killed?
100%.
You have to.
Yeah. What am I gonna do?
Million.
Jenko jeans, dude.
Jeans, yeah.
back when Bill Burr was like really at his height, like I forget what special that was. It was his best special. He told that story. He's like, I came home and I'm like, I'm gonna get my helicopter license. I'm gonna fucking do it. And his wife's like, no, you're not. And he's like, so my reaction was just like, yeah, okay, I'll do nothing because you fucking don't want me to do this. Fucking like I'll just do my regular life the whole time. Absolutely fucking awesome night.
Crowd
dude.
was awesome.
Crowd was great. There definitely were at least 12 warrants out for different people sitting in there.
I gotta tell a quick little bit. Couple of my coworkers showed up. Local 12, what up? They might have had a little money come their way because of some stuff, and they went to 621 yesterday at roughly 12:30. I got the text. Hey, we're at 621.
12:30.
12:30. The show was at 7.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, we got this money, whatever, and I'm taking all the boys out to dinner, and we're just gonna play a little Keno. So I was there at the door when they walked in at 6:59. Right, they showed up wicked late, and the kid looks at me. He goes, "So we got good news and bad news." I'm like, "What's that?" He goes, "The good news is one of us has access to our account, so we can all get in." He goes, "The bad news is we spent all that money on Keno, and we lost. We lost all the money." Now, when I tell you they had a bunch of money, they had a bunch of money.
Yikes, dude.
All on Keno, gone.
I love it.
And he tells me the numbers. He goes, "How did we go wrong?"
Yeah. How do you
dude,
go
How
wrong?
can we lose?
It's fucking 70 numbers,
They
dude.
must have played $100 a fucking
Yeah.
like it was just.
I think
insane.
20 is all you can do, right? Oh, with bonuses and stuff.
Yeah,
You can up it.
they, without a doubt, when you get free money like that, you're just playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they were there. They sat in the front, and there's a kid there. I won't mention his name, but like everyone will know who I'm talking about. And he had a jacket on. And when I saw him at 621, I go, that looks like the jack that Richie Aprile took off for Rocco DeMeo in The Sopranos. And he goes, never seen The Sopranos. And I go, you know what, bud? Maybe you don't have to go to this comedy show.
Maybe you should go home and watch
Yeah,
The
just
Sopranos.
fucking beat it.
Lose my number.
Yeah, so you can look at the picture I posted and you can see this kid with this fucking red leather jacket on, and you'll know who I'm talking about.
We had, you know what? The only thing I was saying this to Fitzy before you showed up. The only thing that was kind of sucked is that I walked in. For example, I'll give you a perfect example. I walked in and Mulkey was sitting there talking to somebody, and I'm like, but I didn't want to interrupt his conversation. I'm like, I'll go talk to him and like and then I got talking. It's like a wedding when you're hosting, when you are the host of the event, because you know a third of the crowd's probably like, you know, yours, and then like I have a bunch of people there and shit.
Yeah.
So I never got to talk to him. Same thing happened to me. I saw the Monahan boys come in, and I was like, fuck, I want to talk to them. And then I got talking to Jeff Clow, and then next thing you know, like fucking time's just flying by. And then you're sitting because you're watching. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was great. You killed. You got to get up more. You got to be doing that more. You know what I mean? Because that was fucking, dude, that was so good. Obviously, hometown crowd helps, but that was by far the best you've ever been.
Yeah, but still, I think you could have put anyone. I mean, any.
No, I'm just saying for being comfortable.
Yeah, for being comfortable. Yeah. But his stage presence always good.
It's
you know what I mean. So it doesn't seem like you're ever nervous up there.
No, I tell
you get Irish Sebastian. You know what I mean? Just moving all over that thing.
Yeah, Julie said the first thing Julie Wilcox said to me after the show. She goes, "Fucking great job, best you've ever done by far." She goes, "Can you stay still for 1 second so I can take a picture?" And I'm like, "No, I can't." I'm like, "You think cocaine needs to see me? Never. I don't fucking need it."
It's like you say, cocaine is my resting energy.
Yeah.
I walked in, I couldn't even find Bob's table. I'm just like looking around trying to find where they were.
Well, when I first got there, I went to the member side. And I was like, is anyone and you were like, yeah, it's halfway full. And first thing I see is just fucking the Chinese containers. Like, oh, Bob's got to be right there.
I get a little, I don't like, I'm like yesterday morning I woke up and I'm like, my social battery's feeling pretty fucking low. And then I took a nap and I'm like, I'm fucking rallying right now. We got to get this thing, you know, we got to do what we got to do. But like at one point I was getting I had a few people come up to me that like, I didn't know that well. And I'm fine with that. Like, and they were great, and it was awesome. You know what my like ASMR is? I go into the member side and I just sit there with like Keith and Jerry Callahan, just listen to them speak in their brogues, and it's like just fucking relaxes me. You know what I mean? Just like it's the best.
One of my favorite parts of the night, because I did get a lot of compliments, but Dennis Wilcox was there last night in attendance with his wife Kelly. All the Wilcoxes were there. Jake. By the way, before I even go any further, it's out there. Whatever. Jake Wilcox, who we had on the show, but we had to delete it for obvious reasons.
It's in the chamber. We have it.
He did a pro day at Bryant College. A bunch of college kids was there. All the scouts from the NFL. He has a pro day he has a show out, whatever we want to call it, for the Patriots.
Yeah.
April 4th or something like that. Just want to let you know, like when we say he's QB1, he's QB1. He went 54 for 55 out of throws. If he went to the combine, he would have had the second highest vertical out of everyone there.
Yeah.
Which is nuts.
Insane.
Right? He had a 10-foot broad jump. The kid's a specimen.
He must be able to dunk, right?
Oh, he can dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was actually funny. So when my son and his nephews...
Take that, Panuzzo.
I'm sorry. When my son and his cousins played on the same basketball team, it was halftime. They let people shoot. And he was like, honestly, I miss basketball. I'm going to go out there. Jake Wilcox did not hit one fucking shot. Not one. Bricked everything. And then he was like, I have to end it on a high note. And he dunked it.
What was his 40?
4'6".
Wild.
4'6". The kid can move.
For a monster.
Yeah. He's like 6'3". Yeah, he's a big boy.
Yeah.
So he was there last night. Shay was there last night. I have 9 tickets available. I was told last night it's the last 9 available.
Okay.
General admission.
Oh, really?
Do we have, I got a
sold
question. Do we have 2 or 3 tickets to the event?
3.
We do have 3.
But we're good.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. But I have 9 general admission tickets.
Those kids, I was talking to, quick shout out to our buddy Al from Bad Brain who had a table. We had a famous person though. So Mark Lewis was there. Mark Lewis there.
Bottom of Diet Coke.
Yeah. My funniest moment of the night.
Danny welcomed him into the IA.
I love it.
He walked into the IA. Danny ran right up to him. He's like, "Mark, nice to meet you. I'm
I
Danny."
gave him a handshake and a pat on the back.
He's like, "I love you. Your family's right over there."
Yeah,
Well,
great.
listen, when
I
your
saw it
family-
and I was like, "Look at fucking Danny."
I'm a host. I'm a good host.
It was funny.
You thought I missed that?
No chance.
I think Marco's like he's a super nice kid. Like he just is.
I expect him to be a little bit taller. I'll be honest.
Little guys, you know.
Yeah. He's not as tall as Al.
I wanted to fucking meet Nico.
So did I.
Nico's great. Nico's the best.
I met Marco though. That was
Marco's. There was an unbelievable moment. Now we talk about Jay Hurley a lot on here. Jay Hurley's
We
like
tried to get him on here today.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know if I can do that.
I don't know if I can do that.
So,
I'm a little bit nervous.
What am I gonna say?
So they're talking about how they played in the same hockey league together.
Yeah.
And it's like Marco was like, that was a good skate or whatever. And Jay Hurley's like, now Jay Hurley, as you've said, is what would you say he is? 5'11", 3 bills?
Yeah.
Right?
Over
but like
3.
dangles on skates. He's like good.
It doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. So he's talking to Marco. He's like, remember that time? He's like, you tried to tie my skates? And he's like, and Marco's like, what, dude? I never tried to tie your skates. He's like, that's how I remember it. like it was fucking ridiculous. It was fucking ridiculous.
Someone, it might have been Al. He goes, you sound like you're from Louisiana. He goes, what do you dance? My first time hearing that.
It's the face and expressions that you do that do it.
It's because he just pauses his body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He is unbelievable. And like back to the Wilcoxes for 1 second. Those two kids.
I didn't even finish it.
Those two kids are like the nicest kids you ever met in your life.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of guys that are good athletes that are fucking dickheads.
Right.
And they think they're fucking the man.
Yeah.
That kid couldn't be, Jake and Shay couldn't be the nicest. Like, I asked him, I was like, told him about the story of my nephew wanted to go to the thing. And they were like, it was like me, him, and Shay. And Shay's like, we'll just bring him down to the gym and he watch work out. And like, if he wants to work out a little bit, like after the fight, like we'll do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't have to do that.
Right.
It's like, they're just the fucking nicest guys. Like, he walked away, me and Al were talking. I introduced him to Al. And Al's like, that might be the nicest kid like I've ever met in my
He's
life.
a dynamite
He's
human.
fucking awesome.
They were raised well.
Yeah.
So their father, Dennis, who is one of the best people I've ever met in my entire life.
He's the reason that Bobby C got his first Galley Cat.
That's right. So Dennis is sober. He's very proud of that. And I see him walk over with, it seemed like 100 Mick Ultras, mixed drinks, and it was just you could tell that like he did all right.
Yeah.
So he goes, so I go, Dennis, I go, fucking back on the sauce, dude. He goes, get away from me, right? So he comes back over. Now, if you know Dennis, he's a man of few words, but like after I went up on stage, he comes up to me, and it was the best compliment ever. And if you don't know Dennis, this is the best compliment. He goes, you're a sick kid. You're just a sick kid. And that means I love you. You did great.
You know what I thought of too? It cracked me up is that before the show, when I finished setting up that stuff, I was talking to Billy, who runs the club basically.
Yep.
And Billy's like, "Are you getting up there?" And I'm like, so I'm like, "No, I'm not." He goes, "Get up there and play some music for everybody." He's like, "You're a great musician." I'm like, I'm thinking about how funny would it be if I just got up there. I'm like, "Hey, here's a couple folk songs, everybody." Like, fucking people be like, we like the Blues Brothers that throw the beer bottles off the fucking thing.
He said it to me last night. He goes, "Why didn't Brendan get up there and play some tunes?" I go, "Well, for one, it's a comedy show."
Yeah.
I go, "It's not Junior Variety."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. America's Got Talent. Mullen's Got Talent. Your brother-in-law Jovan was in the house. I hadn't seen him in a long time.
best.
He is the best. I told him he's all set for Force of the golf tournament.
Good.
Real quick on the golf tournament, because I said I'm going to open it up tomorrow. I'm opening it up Wednesday in the Patreon. Now, like I said, I think there's like 6 groups left or something like that to be had. So it's going to be just like basically like, I think we'll call it Wednesday at like 10 a.m. I'll put a post up and it'll just be the first to respond. You can get a group. And there's still some, and the only reason it's going to be Wednesday instead of tomorrow is there's still some stuff that needs to be sorted. I was supposed to talk to Mohan last night about whether he's getting a group or he wants to play with somebody.
kid's about 70 pounds right now.
Yeah, he looks great.
And it's all tits. Just kidding, Mohan.
But yeah, I mean, I just can't. To everybody that came out that listens to this, we couldn't be more fucking thankful of, I think listen, I talked to Jeff Clow about this afterwards. And I finally met Ethan Clow, who's Matt's brother, who I've been like, I see him all the time. We're friends on like Instagram or something like that. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, Ethan Clow. I'm like,
Another legend.
Another legend.
Legendary Clow.
But I was talking to Jeff about it, and I'm like, this, like, not to be like super like fucking sentimental, but it's just somebody was like, oh, you guys must be making some good money on the show now, and I'm like, no, not really, not really. But
If you know a guy, let us
if
know.
you want to get an hourly rate, it's probably 12 cents an hour. That's probably what we're working for.
Yeah.
That said, I was like, this is exactly fucking like my wet dream of like what I wanted to have happen from this podcast.
Yeah,
It's
all
like,
these people come out and show
awesome.
out. Right when I walked in, the first two tables I saw was Kevin O'Connell and his whole entire family. Now, I know they don't listen.
Yeah.
Kevin listens,
Right.
and
Yeah.
he's like,
Come out and support.
he's like, here.
I didn't even know he was
We'll
there.
buy-
I didn't even see him.
Dude,
Kevin
I
was
saw
there
him
with-
late.
Oh yeah.
He's got 3 sisters. They were all there with like their husbands and shit.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. He's there with his wife. And then Crymeyer.
Yeah.
Crymeyer.
Yeah.
saw
Yeah.
Crymeyer.
I was there.
They had a table.
Yep.
I didn't even see
I saw
Crab.
also shout out to like all the this was great and it had my accent, but Buggy bought a table. He had a bunch of Melrose people, some people he works with, and then a bunch of other Melrose guys who are kind of secondary friends of Clow bought a table, and my sister was there, and there were a lot of Melrose people there. And
Where was Kev Ma?
Kev Ma was there. He was in the back.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't see Kev
He came
either.
in at the beginning, and then like him and Dorothy sat at like a table in the back.
Oh, I wish I seen him.
Dude, I
Yeah.
missed
He
a
texted
lot
me
of
this
people.
morning. He's like, Danny killed last night.
Was
Oh,
Joe
fuck
there? What's his face?
Joe Ma?
No, Josh's cousin.
Joe was there. Yeah, Joe was
I
there.
didn't see him either.
Yeah, he was there. I go like this. I go to him. I go, I'm excited to see Jeff tonight. He goes, he goes, why? And I'm like, because I want to see what the new jokes. Because Joe writes jokes for him.
Does he?
Like Joe and him write together.
He
Really?
said that at the end. I thought he was kidding.
No, he's dead serious. They worked everything together.
That's awesome.
So he goes,
It is.
I go, is it gonna be good? And he goes, I don't know. It's gonna be stupid. I was like, it's the fucking best.
I really wish I
But,
saw
like-
Kev Ma because I've never seen him smile in my life.
Oh, dude, he looks great. He's
I
lost like
didn't
30
see-
pounds.
I
He's
didn't see him.
He looks great. I played golf with him that morning, striping the ball all over the place. But I was talking to Jeff Cloud about that, and I go, this is fucking what I wanted. And I'm like, it's so awesome that, like, we met through Josh, kind of, and, like, he was on the show, and I was like, he's like, yeah, he used to do stand-up, and I was like, why don't you get up and do the show last year? And now, like, he's just, like, up there doing it. And you got a guy like Will Noonan who's a fucking pro. Who's over with, like, Shane Gillis being like, this kid's good. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know, like, I
He
just,
murdered last night, dude.
Yeah, he really did.
fucking murdered.
oh,
Yeah.
so awesome.
I was like,
He had his Dorchester shirt on.
first thing I said, I didn't even say hi to him. I go, that's a great hoodie.
Dude,
fucking
so
awesome.
here's the thing. Here's the funny thing. So, and I'm not like, I know Jeff, like, as well as you guys know him pretty much, you know what I mean? From the show. But, like, I know he's got a good job, like, and I know he does well, and he's like, he's done well for himself. He actually said it. He's like, I work in finance, no big deal. I'm good. But I was dying laughing because, like, he was telling me, he's like, some guy he works with, he's in like high finance, sends him a reel. He's like, is this fucking you on this podcast? Like, he's probably like making deals and shit.
Yeah.
And like all of a sudden, like, there's a video of him telling like a story about Larry Bird, like fucking on the podcast. I don't know. I just thought it was great. And everybody there, like, seeing everybody fucking in the same place at the same time was fucking awesome. Like I said, Al got a table. The Bad Brain crew was there. That was awesome. Al's cousin,
Justin is,
Justin's unbelievable.
he, like, I don't
How
know.
are ya?
He,
Pretty
like,
good, right?
like we all have Boston accents. He's the epitome of who you, like,
Well,
someone
his
from,
is like an old school
It is.
accent.
Yeah.
It's like
he still says power.
it's
Yeah.
like my grandma.
Yeah.
It reminds me
Yeah.
of my grandma.
I gotta go down to the cellar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he just has this little drawn out.
I wouldn't be
Fuck,
surprised
kid.
if he was like, I'm going to go hit Fellines. I need a new pair of jeans.
Fellines.
I need a new pair of dungarees.
Oh my god! I met their cousin too, and he's awesome. Like one of the guys, they say he's the funniest. One of them. He's
he the
very
tall
funny.
one with
Yeah,
the-
the tall one.
That's
Like
the
that.
one that Gilligan said. He goes, because I did tell him I got
Oh,
a
yeah, Italian table, yeah.
I
Yeah.
said there's an Italian table from Revere. I was like, just shit all over him because Al, fuck Al, you know. And he looks over and the poor guy just gets shit on. I never even met him before, and he just goes, "Who's the guy over there who looks like the guy from The Sopranos?" I go, "All of them." You know? He goes, no, the tall one with the jewelry. I go, oh, awesome. I can definitely pick him out now. You know what I mean? And then I looked and I was like, I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. Then I meet him.
He's another cousin.
He's got a wife beater with a
Under?
jacket on. That was it. And a gold chain.
Hilarious.
And
They're
I was-
like John Cazale from fucking Godfather.
and
Like
I
Fredo.
go,
Like,
did I just spit on you?
A little bit.
Oh, my bad. Little shrapnel.
That's all right.
Sorry.
it's going to help the hangover.
It happens.
I was like, this dude looks exactly like Christopher Maltasanti. He goes, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things on Bad Brain is Justin's wheeze laugh when he just
Oh,
goes,
he's got a good laugh.
and it's like wheezing through the microphone because you know he's all fired up when he's laughing that hard.
I love it.
He got so fired up that I told him I was like a wrestling fan.
Oh, yeah, he loves wrestling.
He's like, buddy, me and you fucking go down Canal Street. We're just going to be, what is it called? They do when they go on the street and start interviewing people.
Oh, man on the street.
Man on the street. Right? So he's like, me and you, man on the street, we're just going to be talking to people with their belts.
What do you say? It's fucking Royal Rumble season.
Yeah,
or something?
no, it's WrestleMania.
WrestleMania season.
Everybody knows that.
And by the way, it
Everybody
is.
knows that about me.
It is.
It's WrestleMania season. Al bought 10 pizzas for 10
pizzas
people
for 10
at his
people. That's
table,
wild.
which was unbelievable. I'm sure. Listen, the good thing is, a guy from Melrose texted me. He goes, "That was a fucking blast, dude." He goes, "The best part was I didn't know if somebody was going to tell a joke or a fight was going to break out at any moment in that place. Like it was fucking high energy."
So I'm in my Uber, right? And I see a post from my buddy Drew. You know Drew?
No, but
older.
I
not
saw you
old.
and Bobby go over and say hi to him.
So I've known him for like 15, 20 years. Me, Bobby, and him knew each other fucking way back. But I haven't seen Drew in probably 12 years.
Yeah.
We used to play softball together. So I see a post on Facebook. I'm at the Malden Irish American for fucking
I remember, I was
mixed on mics. And I was like, Drew's there? I was like, Uber driver, step on it. And he's like, no English. And I was like, all right, we'll get there whenever. so I see Bobby finally, and I'm fucking searching around for Drew. And finally, Bobby's like, he's right there. And I fucking walk over, and I was like, Drew, what's up? He's like, what are you doing here?
No
I'm like,
way.
This is my podcast. And he goes, no. He's like, I'm going to start listening. He's just a Malden guy who heard about it and was there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's so good.
That's fucking
Yeah,
great.
dude, it was like, it's funny too, because we talked about this, and this is a little behind the scenes, but I made the video where I was like, yo, have we sold all the tickets? No, we've not. You know, like, we probably sold 100 tickets the last week.
Yeah.
I would say.
100%.
You know what
I mean, that happened last year too.
Yeah. Yeah, and like, you know, obviously we, like, just for transparency purposes, like, we made a little bit of money off it, and the club makes some money, and the club needs money. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Crushed.
crushed it. But
the
It was
bar-
probably a great night for the club.
both bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After the show, when
Bar
everyone-
killed.
Bar killed.
Yeah.
And that's the name of the game.
Yeah. And that club is awesome. Like, I got to go more. I know, like, that's not something you probably should say as, like, a fucking grown up. Like, I need to go down to the Irish American more.
Yeah. Crush
But I
beers.
love it down there, dude. I always have fun.
Awesome.
Everybody who's a member there is awesome. The Irish guys are fucking awesome.
Yep.
We got an idea for a skit we're working on with two of the Irish guys, which is
gonna
going to
be
be
great.
fucking awesome.
It's gonna be great.
The three of us and two of them. And they were totally down for it. They thought it was fucking great. Keith was in the house. We had Al. What did Al say I looked like last night?
It was honestly my favorite joke of the night, and I was being dead serious when I said that. So Brendan had on a shirt. It was a white and red plaid shirt.
Oh yeah.
But Al, did I tell you this?
No.
Oh.
Justin, I'll tell you after. Go ahead.
So Alan comes up to me, he goes, Danny, you gonna somehow work this into your routine? I'm like, what's up? He goes, Brendan looks like a jar of strawberry jam.
So everyone had that same joke.
No, I heard picnic table.
Justin,
Strawberry jam.
Smuckers. They said Smuckers.
Justin came up to me and Melissa
Yeah.
and said, "Why is dressing just like a Smuckers jar?"
Meanwhile, by the way, Justin looks like he got shit out of like a fucking of the extras of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, if Al could make money just taking pictures, bad angles of
Non-flattering pictures of his cousins,
Justin,
he would be
a
he'd
fucking
millionaire.
zillionaire.
Yeah.
He showed Justin that picture, and it was like Justin's like, that would be the end of the podcast. Like, if you post that, it's the end of the podcast.
What did you think of Gilligan's joke about Melrose?
So I was getting to this.
I cried.
So
I
a
was
lot of
crying.
Melrose presence there, obviously.
Yeah.
Big Malden presence. But like probably 30 Melrose people in the house.
Yeah.
and he went on a 10-minute rant on Melrose, and everybody was fucking dying. It was so accurate, so spot on.
Yeah.
I walked out afterwards, and I go to him. I go, hey, it was fucking hilarious. It was actually probably the only one time he really engaged me. I was like, my whole table is Melrose, and he goes, oh no. And I go, come on. I go, you're doing it for that reason.
Right.
I'm like, it was fucking unbelievable, dude. It was such. He just throws high 97, 98 mile per hour.
I'm gonna get him on here.
All right,
I'm gonna get him on here.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna be like, dude, you just gotta do it.
It would be like a day off for us. We could just sit back and relax.
I know.
dude.
Watch
you have him
watch
on.
Him cook. Yeah,
that's like. I mean, look. I mean, like we've said before, it's like there's certain people that you have on. Like, it's more like an interview, right? It's like when we have What Do You Today, Sir? Mike, who's great. He was awesome, but it's like you have to ask him questions. He's not a comedian, and he's not like when you have on like Gilligan or like when we had Will Noonan on. It's like just fucking put a quarter in the kid and let him go. You know what I mean? Like, like wind up the fucking back of the kid and let him go. Yeah,
Clocky, they're all people that'll just go.
Yeah, yeah, but even more so than like a Bobby C is gonna want to think about what he's gonna say. Do you know what I mean? All these guys do all day is think about fucking shit to fucking talk about like that. You know what I mean? Like that's what they think about. It's funny because I was talking to Will before and I was like, so well documented that I was a huge fan of his podcast. That's where I heard him say that thing he said about Karen Reed last night, where he's like, I don't think she knows like if she fucking did it because like she was
11 martinis
later. And he's like, do you think that joke will play in this room? I'm like, yeah. So he did it last night and it was fucking awesome. He's the best dude in the world. He loves this podcast. He was saying to me, Fitz, he's like, anytime I'm doing giggles, like I'm just hoping you guys are up for like doing the podcast that night. Like, and I'll just be on it like as much as you guys let me be on it. Because he was saying too, he's like, he does a lot of comedian podcasts, and he's like, which are great, and they're all his friends. He's like, but it's kind of like everybody's trying to one up each other. He's like, when it's with you guys, it's just like a hang, like we're all just kind of hanging out and shoot the shit. So,
mediocre hang.
It couldn't have gone,
guys.
Chill guys. Couldn't have gone off any better. I loved it. So we'll do it again next year. For sure. And
we got a bunch of shit coming up right now though.
Yeah, so now we got next thing on the books is Shay's fight.
Yeah.
So
and again, I literally have 9 tickets. They're in my car as I speak. And
April what?
19th.
19th.
Yeah.
Brookline High.
Brookline High, yeah.
It's gonna be a fucking blast, dude. You're gonna see this kid. I don't know if you guys seen me before I got on stage, but I was at Shay's table and I was shadow boxing. I was like, Shay, how'd I do? And he goes, you did all right, Danny. So like that's all I needed.
He was just being nice.
He was being nice. Yeah,
His kid's left fucking hook is insane.
To the kidney, see you later.
It
Goodbye.
fucking you're done.
So I'm a big boxing fan. My favorite punch ever is Mickey Woods. Same exact punch to he put a Turagati down in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Shay's is right there, dude.
Yeah.
It's right there. That is a fucking crippling punch.
Canelo is one of my favorites.
Oh, he's a dog.
He's in the longevity of his career is fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's a dog.
But he's just like precision fighting in Shay's, like from what I've seen of his film, Shay's fucking nasty.
Yeah, he's a dog.
I went up to him and I was like, Shay, what's up? He's like, Fitzy, how's it going? I was like, how you feeling? You ready? And I fucking squeezed his arm.
Oh,
I was like, you feel ready?
It's granite. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If you're sick of getting punched in the fucking stomach, you might want to fucking make a move and get your whole house renovated. Okay.
Yep.
If you have a bad contractor, that could be a punch to the gut.
Yeah.
Not if you're working with Tedco. All right. 617-996-6827. You want your basement done, your deck. You want your fucking house renovated. You want to put on a master bedroom. You want to put on a room where you can develop film. You can get all those things and more with Tedco. Call them today. By the way, we're in the fucking heat of Beef Madness.
Yeah, we are.
So real quick, here's a little aside. I went up to see Harry on Thursday. Met Justin up there and Joe from Gloucester. Justin's like, how are ya? And we had a great lunch. So we were up there. I had to meet with Harry about like just sponsorship stuff. And then I was like, I'll do a beef review. So I don't think I've done a beef review without you two there recently.
Right.
And like, if you two were there, it's like nobody fucks with you at all. So I did a beef review, told a little story, and I guess I never showed the beef.
You did.
Whatever.
I don't know what they were talking about.
They're all mouth breathing idiots.
That's it. That's all they want to do is talk
so they're
shit.
fucking chirping me. And like shitting down my throat. So I'm like, all right. So Friday, I'm like, I'm fucking coming for.
Doing
I'm
another
taking
one.
names.
Yeah.
And I'm cutting for scalps. Like that's what I'm doing. And
And you
I
did?
absolutely.
I think Brendan's
ruined-
making the ranks right now.
Yeah.
The likes are coming through the roof for Brendan Ahern.
Let me tell you, I was like, nothing gets me more fired up than being angry. Like, and being angry at specific people I don't know, like 60-year-old men on the internet who fucking have pictures of dogs as their fucking profile
Idiots,
picture.
yeah.
Yeah.
Losers.
I might have accused one guy of being a pedophile. Regardless, I came for them. Bella's is in the fucking beef madness right now.
Yep.
We got a 4:00 is when they go off, right?
I think so. I'll look it up. But continue.
To vote for them. But Danny, why don't you read it? Because you had a great. I had the best beef I've ever had in my life. Facts. I wrote this text to you guys that day. at
It
Bella's.
was, and again, it was the best beef I've ever had.
Yeah.
And I went up there. By the way, drove up there, started snowing, immediately got mad. I went up there yesterday, saw Harry, saw Sandra. Place is fucking, it's lights out.
Yeah.
It's lights. You know what's crazy? So on my way up there on 495 or whatever, I was trying to get off the exit, but I was in the middle lane, and I was like, oh shit, I got to move over. And I was like, this guy's not going to let me go, right? He's not going to let me go. And he did.
Yeah.
You know we know where he ended up?
Bella's.
1211 Osgood Street.
Fuck yeah.
I was like, hey, let me buy you beef. He's like, for what? I was like, buddy, you just let me go. And I didn't think you were going to let me go. He had his whole family. Would have cost me an arm and a leg. Glad he said no.
He declined?
He
Yeah,
declined.
that's
But he was a gentleman. He had if you're listening, the maroon Dodge Ram. Nice fella. Nice fella. Yeah, they got to get
4
that.
o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Okay.
4 o'clock. So in an hour.
Which you,
Get on
Which,
North
by the
Shore.
way,
pass.
which, by the way, you'll get this Tuesday.
I think they're gonna win today, so we're looking at next weekend.
Yep.
Get on the page.
I
Vote for
put
Bellas.
a post up already on Instagram just saying vote for Bella. So
Yeah.
1211 Osgood Street. The best is I'm talking to Harry. Like the one thing I'm pretty good at is just pretending I know what we're talking about, even though I don't know what we're talking about. He's like, oh, it's crazy in here. He's like, 22 roasts last Saturday.
22.
I'm like, that's a lot, right? Fucking must be a lot. Harry's the best though, dude. He gave me a t-shirt and a hat the other day. So
nice.
yeah.
Thanks, Harry.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you guys have sweatshirts next to you. One is for we can lead right into the next sponsor. One is for Danny and one's for Danny. You got an XL, which is usually a little big for you, but you getting swolled up.
I mean, I'm out here.
So
That's fire,
this is
dude.
Josh's, made by Ben Franklin Print Company. Ben Franklin, Joe, there is the best of the business. They're in Middleton, Mass. 978-624-7341. You can get everything made there. Josh just gave him a concept. My buddy Scotty drew the back, but he just, the guy fucking knocks out of the park. Whatever you want, they do it, and their shit is so fucking quality. It's the best. Tell me your cork, you get 10% off. We'll do the rest of the ads in a little bit. Sorry, let's talk about the golf tournament a little bit, because we're talking about events today. Today feels like events. Get tickets to fucking Shay.
Yeah.
That takes us to
I got
Shay.
9 left.
Yeah.
Reach out to me.
Yeah, reach out to Danny. We're gonna be there, and then I feel like afterwards we might end up at the IA. I feel like that's probably what we
More than likely.
More than likely, celebrating as we know we will be. The golf tournament is happening May 23rd. By the way, last year I'm helping out a little more than I did last year. Sean really ran everything last year, and he just got a new job, so I'm trying to take the pressure off him. So I had to do the thing where you like get the insurance for it.
Yep.
Which was utilized last year. Maybe a broken axle too on a couple carts. But 15 minutes talking to this fucking guy, I was like ready to put a bullet in my brain. It's like, are you gonna have any body painting or tilt-a-whirls?
What?
Ferris wheels, any type of carnival equipment?
No, guy.
Like,
Buddy, next
We're
question.
not. Yeah.
Like-
Skip those.
yeah. You're not gonna bring any of your own alcohol? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Promise.
Probably not. Can I say that?
Right hand of God.
But anyways, May
Fingers
23rd.
crossed.
May 23rd. There's a few people we still have to reach out to that played last year.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's gonna be the same as last year. It's gonna be like, what was it? A group last year? I can't remember. 150 a guy or something like that, right? I think 600 a group. I think is what it costs.
Yeah, I think so.
Gets you a T-shirt. Gets you like a little gift bag,
Swag
with some
bag.
balls and stuff like that. Our whole goal, like we always say, is like talking to Sean about it. the other day. It's like the goal is to raise money for this cystic fibrosis. So everything, any fat on the fucking meat at the end of the day is going to that.
It's going to them, yeah.
So I think last year was like $3,500 or something like that.
Yeah, which is great
Which is great.
Inaugural event.
They love us. Now, I'm assuming this lady doesn't listen to this podcast. My niece has CF, so that's a big thing for me. She's like, do you want these hats that say like CF or something on them? I'm like, nah, I think we're good. Like, I don't think anybody wants to be walking around with that thing on their head.
Right.
You know? Shout out to you if you listen, by the way. We'll take the hats from you. If
Just
we need
3.
to. But yeah, so that's gonna be awesome. And we got a warm-up tournament. Me, you, Danny, Bob C.
Yep.
May 2nd. If you're a Melrose person, it's I think it's for girls soccer. My friend Jill's running it. She's like, will you play tunes afterwards? And I'm like,
Oh, that's a terrible idea.
I'm like, yes, I will. She's like, I'll give you a foursome. And I'm like, this is going to be a bad idea for you. No, I'll be fine. But I'll ride the couch with Bob C. But anyways, we'll warm up.
I'll go up there and sing.
Yeah. I remember who won the tournament last year. I couldn't remember the other day who won it. My buddy Rich Queen won it last year.
You said that.
Yeah, him and his crew. Yeah. So they want to repeat. They're coming back. Who you playing with, Danny? You know?
Well, it all depends. My brother is supposed to be coming, so if not, yeah, Stevie and all them.
Okay, nice. Yeah, we'll figure that out. Fitzy, who you playing with? You
I'm jumping in with Bob, I think, this year.
Nice.
So we'll see. Because I had a couple guys on my team and my cousin who potentially might want to come back. We'll see how it goes.
I had 2 people at the event last night ask me if Dr. Strange was there.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He was not there.
I mean, who knows? Fucking Kevin Ma was there, and I would have told you he wasn't there either.
Yeah,
I can't believe that.
Maybe
That's
Doctor
true.
Strange was there.
Yeah. Kevin was laying low in the back. Yeah, but it was fucking awesome night, dude. I just can't thank everybody enough.
Imagine Kevin calls you and he's like, I talked to Fitzy for 20 minutes. Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. There's another great story for the Patreon. We'll tell on the Patreon about something that happened with Fitzy and Will Noonan late. But nothing bad. Yeah, it was just fucking awesome, dude. Like I said, like it was just fucking really. It fills you up. It fills up your tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to fucking have that type of night. Like
I woke up. I was hungover, but I was fucking flying high because it was a fucking great night.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine being Danny this morning, like waking up after fucking that performance.
Dude.
My daughter just ruined that for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she just fucking like 5:30 this morning.
Fucking kids.
Just
Why do we have kids?
Like, and she's, dude, it's a blessing in disguise, right? We thought she had like a speech delay and everything. And now I just can't shut her the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's like, Daddy, I want eggs. And I'm like, fucking eggs.
My
right?
kids had sleepovers, so I slept until like fucking 9.
You fucking dude, I can't sleep past like 8. Like I woke up, I'm like, fuck me. Like I'm like, I went to bed.
Yeah,
I got home.
You texted us early this morning.
Dude,
I
I
answered
got
right
home.
away. I was like, he didn't expect this from me.
I got home. I watched TV. Like I was like, I could sleep till whenever tomorrow. I'm like, I'm fucking gonna throw on like some YouTube fucking guitar videos, and then like 8 o'clock, I'm like, bink, like
So
fuck.
9's late for me
Yeah,
because
usually get 4.
during the week I'm up wicked early, but even on the weekends, 7,
Yeah.
7:15, I'm up.
Yeah,
My kids will wake up and go downstairs and turn on the TV, or even make themselves like grab something to eat.
yeah,
They won't bother me. I could sleep until fucking noon.
yeah,
I'm up at 7 most days.
yeah,
9's late.
yeah. But it was worth it. I bet it was nice.
It was good.
Yeah,
I still felt like shit.
yeah.
These beers are helping.
These beers are helping. Yeah, it was just a fucking amazing night. I can't say enough about it. Just thanks to everybody who fucking helped out and fucking showed up. You know, it's makes you feel good. And it was great. Like I said, I was so proud. Honestly, proud of you, dude. Like,
Thank you.
No joke. Like, I know you're gonna tear up now.
I'll wait till the Patreon.
But no, I was, dude. You fucking killed it. Like looking over at my sister, just dying laughing. Were you telling the story about your dad and the light? Which I've heard the story before.
It's a great story.
But it's a fucking amazing story. Everybody just fucking laughing their asses off.
I was gonna end it. So right before that, I had a joke about a Chinese wake, and I was gonna end it on that note. And I was like, "Fuck it." I was like, "People are dying laughing. I'm gonna end it on my."
You know what, dude? That's I tell you, that is kind of like such a art form in itself. Is knowing when it's like, all right, I just got probably the fucking zenith, because some people will go too far.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And lose it.
And
Right.
lose it.
So I saw that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's done. That was great.
Yeah.
Because people were fucking going wild.
Yeah.
And then you kept going.
Yeah,
and
I was like, fuck it. I was
but
like-
then you continued to crush.
So
which worked out.
Yeah.
So I asked Paul, and I said, I asked Paul Gilligan, I go, how long did I do? Because like I literally, when I have a show, I'll go in the car and record myself and see how long I have.
Yep.
So like I wanted to know like how, and I was like 15 minutes right on the dot. And I got off the stage and I was like, Paul, how long did I do? He goes, you were 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I said, what?
Yeah.
And it made
believe
sense
it.
because like
I
I was
believe
doing
it.
a little bit of crowd work and start talking and shit. Honestly, like you can't really, when you're up there, you don't really know how the crowd is, to be honest. It's kind of like in the back burner.
Yep.
But from the people that came up to me last night, I guess I did pretty good.
Dude, it was like I said, like I'm not even like it just is what it is. Like from last year to this year, it was like fully fucking perfect. Like, you know what I mean? Like there was never a moment that you lost a second of the crowd. You know what I mean?
No, it's awesome. I appreciate it.
And like I said too, it's like you have a very like specific, like you are moving around a lot and fucking you getting the energy is going.
Yeah, I know that. I'm moving around and shit.
Yeah.
We got to do a quick shout out. They came a little late because they had their own gig, but Nick's Comedy Stop came by last
Matt
night.
Mishi. I told them I want to have them on the show next month.
They're crushing it right now. So if you want to go see comedy, they have it every single weekend. Nick's Comedy Stop, Matt Mishi. They have
they
legit
fucking-
killers there every single weekend.
And they tagged us in the thing that he took a picture. I met him for the first time.
They had me and Fitzy on the schmuck truck.
Yep.
Great fucking people. I'm so happy for them because like they were like losing traction for a little bit and now it's back and I couldn't be happier for them. Nick's Comedy Stop in Boston.
It's so fucking. It's stand-up comedy is so fucking strange. Do you know what I mean? Like if you think about it, it's basically what you're doing like when you're standing around the bar, but it's like an elevated version of it. You know what I mean? So it's like you're like, I can't wait to tell this fucking story.
I've said it 1,000 times. I'm not even the funniest dude in my family. I'm just the only idiot that will get on stage.
Yeah, but that's like it's a totally different thing, right? Because like I actually had this conversation with Will. There's a kid that I went to college with who's friends with Will, who was a stand-up for a while.
Yep.
And a good stand-up. This kid, Whitman, Mike Whitman. And like played big rooms, everything. Fourth funniest person in the house he lived in, I would say. You know what I mean? But like I saw him do stand-up randomly. He was at a bar that he was doing that one night. And I'm like, holy shit, he's fucking great. So it's like, it is a different thing than just being funny. You know what I mean? Like everybody, we know a shitload of funny people.
Yeah.
But like to get up there and be able to fucking stand up in front of a room, dude, that is, I get up and play guitar and do that shit all the time. That fucking frightens the shit out of me. Like that would scare the shit out of me. Like you did last night.
It's just, I'm having fun doing it at the end of the day. You know
Have
what I mean?
you've done best man speeches?
Yeah, I crushed my
I
best.
crushed my best
I'll give you an
man.
example. I was
me
co-best
too.
man.
I crushed my
I
best.
crushed it too.
I have a video. I'll send it to you guys.
I got a video. I got
killed
a
it.
video too.
I killed mine.
That's what I mean. So I feel like we all could do it.
Yeah.
I'm more like, I would have to really fucking dial something in because I'm very nervous to get up there and like wing it.
But
you know,
I think the kind of way that you have to dial it in is to do it.
is by doing it. Correct.
So one of the dudes that was
Danny's got bigger balls than me. That's
No, it's
bottom
just
line.
that-
He gets up there and he fucking does it.
But like the kid last night, local 12 kid, who I didn't know, he was with the boys. I'd never met him before, and he was like, "I lost my fantasy football. Part of the being in last place, I have to do stand up."
Stand up, right?
And I go, dude,
That's
I go,
fucking great.
I know for a fact I can call Will Noonan and get him on a Wednesday and get him up there for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I know for a fact I
Yeah.
can. So I'm like, well, where are you going to do it? And he was like, well, I need pointers. I go, well, first off, you're getting up there to be embarrassed. Let's not kid ourselves. You're not, you don't want to
Yeah.
be a comedian. You're just doing that for your friends' laughter. I go, so don't worry about being embarrassed. You already know that going into the fucking place, right? I go, but write some shit down. And at these open mics, so like if you guys ever wanted to do it, open mics, you don't have to like memorize everything. You can look at your fucking jokes and no one's gonna judge you.
Yeah.
So like when you go to Capo and there's people out there looking at their phone or whatever, that's normal.
Yeah.
That's a normal thing.
Well, I think even
There's professional comedians that do that shit.
I could be
just
wrong,
to
but I'm
fucking
pretty
look
sure
at it.
Will had a list that he was referencing on his
Oh, yeah.
like thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like, I don't know. I just give you a lot of credit. I think it's hard. I think that it's like anything that you're putting yourself out there. But the thing is, whatever it is you want to do, whether it's that or it doesn't matter. Like you want to start a YouTube channel or whatever, you start a podcast. You just kind of got to do it. Because it's like you sit around and find a million reasons not to do it.
Right.
You know, like, and now look at how good you did last night. Like
No,
that was 2 years ago or 2.5 years ago. You would text me and be like, I really want to try stand up. I'm like, you got to do it then. And then you go up last night and you fucking crush a room of 250. You know, like that's fucking awesome.
I had a blast. I could do that every single day.
Yeah.
You know, just because I need people to love me.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like how much love can you give me? You know what I mean? Like I need it all. I need every piece of it to work.
That's straight out of your mouth, dude. I love that. I need people to love me.
I will never lie about it. It's true. Like I need people to fucking enjoy what I'm doing, and
I don't want to stink in life.
yeah, I don't really know where that comes from. I don't want to litigate that in a therapy session, but yeah, it just feels good when you're doing something to put someone in the world. That's why, like, I think Springsteen said it. He's like, look, everybody who does music or comedy or whatever, or writes films or whatever, it's a narcissistic art. You know what I mean? Like you're looking for somebody to fucking put something out in the world and them to love it. You know what I mean? Like that's the bottom line of what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? It's like, if you do anything, don't you want people to like it? You know, like that's the thing, you know?
I just took that as you comparing me to Springsteen.
Yeah,
and I love that.
Yeah, you are.
I love
You're
that
a lot like
for me.
Springsteen.
I love that for me.
Springsteen, Dylan, Fitzy.
I love that for me.
Yeah, the only person missing last night that I was hoping was going to be there was my father, but
Oh, yeah, no TA.
he went to Hilton Head with his buddies. He wasn't going to go. And then he looks at me, we were at their house, he goes, I said to myself,
Why
how many
not?
fucking years left am I going to be able to go on this fucking trip? You know what I mean? Be dead soon, you know? Might as well fucking go
I
on.
love it.
Yeah, it was just fucking awesome. Anyways, so you going to get up more, you think?
Yeah, I have to.
Have to now. After that, dude.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if I said on this podcast, but before I went to Capo, the last time I went on stage, actually, it was when I did a little hiatus from the pod, right?
Yeah.
I was on stage.
I think you said it.
I did.
I think so.
Completely bombed.
Yes.
Didn't even remember one fucking joke.
Yeah.
And I was never, ever going to get on stage again.
Maybe
Ever.
maybe you told us,
Yeah.
but I thought you said it on here.
I went up there and Christy was with me and she's like, please do not get on stage. And I was like, no, I'm going to get up. And I went up there and I go, hey. And I was like, I already forgot everything. And I just see her go into the shadows.
Yeah, she's like, fuck.
And I was like, I literally shout out to Dave Russo. It was his event. And I was like, dude, I am so sorry. I'm never getting on stage. And he goes, Danny, everyone gets 3 of those. He goes, that was your first one. You got 2 more left.
You get a pass.
The best would have been if fucking Christy just screamed out, told ya, as she fucking walks out the door.
And
Fuck this guy.
the worst part about it is like I remember every comedian that night. Like I remember their jokes, they all crushed.
Yeah.
And I couldn't remember a fucking joke.
Listen,
Yeah, it happens.
I'm happy you rebounded and got back up there.
I'm glad. Shout out to Will Noonan for letting me go
Yeah,
up to Capo.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because
Yep.
like
Yeah.
I had to get back in the business. You know what I mean? So I'm glad.
I wish that Jeff Cloud would get up more. Now that like he
He
might.
is so fucked, dude. He was my favorite part of the night last night.
Honestly,
favorite part of
so
the night.
good.
honestly, he was fucking great.
Yeah.
favorite part of the night.
Yeah. But I'm not even blowing smoke. Like I was watching you up there, and I'm like, I feel like you could open for anybody. Like I feel like you could open for anybody. Like fucking
Yeah.
Gillis, Andrew Schultz. Like I think you could do that. Like I think that.
Well,
could
thank God
definitely
they
happen.
all listen to this.
Well, this is the way we're getting Gillis on the show.
Boys, get in on the ground floor.
Yeah. That's
The Danny Gillis
Stock
train is moving.
right now. Yeah, stock right now is affordable, but
yeah.
at a later date, it's like Bitcoin.
It's
You want
like
to get
Bitcoin
into
in 2004.
Yeah.
I got a pretty good story for the Patreon too for one of my buddies that was in attendance, but he sent me like a heartfelt message yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, he's like, it was literally like, I was almost in tears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he was like, you fucking got it, da-da-da. And I'm like, he bought a ticket by himself. And I'm like, this is like one of my long lost friends. Like, we should have had a fucking table of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just, but you know, he lives out in, you know, East Bumfuck, and he made the trek, and I couldn't be happier. But
Dude, you know what? I say it all the time, but like, if you're not out there pumping somebody's tires, like you're a fucking zero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how hard is it to just be like, and not like, not for no reason, obviously. Like, not, you don't want to take somebody who sucks at stand-up
No,
comedy and be
credit
like,
where credit's
credit
due.
where credit's due. If you're not telling these people like, hey, you're doing a great job, like, it's fucking awesome. Like, people need to hear that. You know what I mean? Like, I think, right?
yeah.
One of the funniest things that happened last night was Jeff Klaus saying, they asked me to perform, and then they were like, yeah, it's still $40 for a ticket, though. I forgot that happened.
Yeah,
and that's such, and honestly, Jeff, if you're listening, that's such an oversight on our part. That was,
Well, that was 2 years ago.
Oh,
was
last
it?
No, he
No.
got paid last night.
No,
No, last year.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah, not 2 years ago. Last year.
The poor prick performed, and we made him buy a ticket.
That was obviously
Hey, price of admission.
a huge oversight on our part. And Jeff, we'll Venmo you $40.
Yeah,
fact.
well, I think
For
that
last year.
in retrospect, if you're remembering correctly, we didn't run this thing at all last year, really. Sean ran it. And like, we bought tickets.
He did it.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. We
Yeah.
ended up.
We
We
bought
we
tickets.
bought
That's
tickets
right.
too.
That's
And
right.
he was like, and Sean was like, dude, what the fuck? How did this happen? You guys bought
Yeah, yeah.
tickets? And I'm like, all right, whatever.
That's
you know,
right,
I
I
went to the
forgot.
club, support the club.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fucking great. I'm just so fucking pumped. I thought it was
Great
fucking
night.
awesome.
Just know that, like, tell your friends. Pull the cork. We know how to fucking throw some events.
Dude,
We know how to throw some
everyone
events.
is great.
We know how to throw some shit.
You know what? We don't fucking do them too often, and we space them out. But when we get together, everybody that listens to the show is like us. So it's like it's just like a fucking hang. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's
Yep.
fucking awesome.
Huge fucking 250 person hang.
Yeah.
Yeah, your buddy Tony there.
I gotta
Tony
talk.
Soldano, right?
Yeah, so Tony Soldano, who I've talked about before, his father dated my mother for years. He's basically a brother of mine. I've known him. I'm 37. I've known him 30 years, more, right? I've never seen him as drunk as he was last night.
Yeah.
And he was the butt of the joke for every time Paul Gilligan went on stage. And he stuck out like a sore thumb.
He had like a purple fucking.
He looked like a mobile gas station. He was royal blue with a fucking yellow top. And I have a raspy voice. He makes me sound like Pinocchio. He's like, buddy, you want another drink? And I'm like, dude, I gotta get on stage. He's like, you gotta gear up, sissy. You know? And he just couldn't.
You gotta bring that word
He
back.
couldn't help himself. So he texted me this morning, so I knew he was alive. And I go, buddy, how you feeling? He goes, through a text, I've had better days, you know?
Dude, he did the best thing that happened the whole night. I'm talking to Al, and you're there. You just came in. He comes rolling around. He's like, grabs Danny, like, fucking whatever. And he's like, you fucking Brendan for the podcast? He's like, fucking love you. You're the fucking man. And Al's sitting there, and I'm like, see? What do you think of that, fucking Al? What do you think of that? This guy thinks I'm the fucking man. How do you feel about that?
He comes up to me after I did my thing, and he brings me in the kitchen, and he was, again, hammered, right? But he goes, buddy, you got the cadence down. Just kept saying cadence. And it was like
He was hooked on cadence.
he was
last
loved
night.
the word. He was like, your cadence is spectacular.
Cadence is a pretty sick word, though.
You know what
So
I mean?
I was hanging out back. With
I know a
the,
girl named Cadence.
Do you?
I
Do
do.
you?
Yep.
I was hanging out back with the Monahan. Shout out Matt and Mark Monahan. And their dad. And Tony comes up to me and he's like, who are you? And I'm like, Fitzy, I'm part of the podcast with Danny and Brendan. He's like, Danny's my brother. He ever tell you about his half brother? That's me. That's me. Look at these glasses. And they fucking
clicked
snapped
together.
together. And I was like, this is great. I was like, there's a comedy show going on. You want to chill out for a second? He's like, I'm getting you a beer. What are you drinking? And I'm like, hold it up. He couldn't read it. He's like, I need the cheetahs.
I
right?
need the cheetahs.
So he's like, what is it? And I'm like, it's a Miller Lite. And he walks over to the bar and he goes, hey, what was that again? I'm like, a Miller Lite. And he buys me a beer. And I set it on the bar, like behind where we're standing. 2 minutes later, he goes, did I get you that beer? I'm like, yeah, dude, it's right here. He's like, no, that's not the right one. He was like, what is it again?
I bet you he spent $600 in that bottle last night.
He got me.
He bought every single person. that
Dude, he
puts
got
it
me 2 more beers. And
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Also, please lower your fucking voice. Because Paul Gilligan's going to punch you in the face.
in. He
There's still-
physically assaulted him last
He
night.
did. He went over and tackled him.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, shut the fuck up.
There's still,
Verbatim.
There's still a one Tony story to be figured out because my sister comes in and Jeff was just going on or something. So like she's like, who's the fucking kid in the
Who's the polo
and
guy?
the polo, big blue polo and the yellow hat. I'm like, oh, it's like Danny's like fake brother. She's like, just gives you like a look like that. Like he was just on one last night. Great guy though. Like dude, he's the other the nicest guy ever.
He was great.
I asked the bartenders afterwards. I go, listen, I'm sorry for Tony. They go,
fine.
he was fine. He
Yeah.
goes, he was just loud.
Yeah.
He goes, but he tipped us well.
Yeah.
He goes, he bought every single person in this place
Oh,
a
dude,
drink.
awesome guy.
He probably dropped
And he
a couple
goes,
$100.
and I tried to give him a free drink, and he goes, I didn't pay you yet. He goes, that's the point. Just take it.
Yeah.
Just fucking take it. You know.
All right,
Shout
not
out
to get
Tony.
off topic, but like, and I didn't really have much planned for today other than the fact that we were going to talk about the show.
Recap, yeah.
But you know what I was kind of thinking about is that so Ed Sheeran, we know that he was at the Dublin, right? Like a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
Yep.
That guy Warren, who owns it with me and Fitzy, fucking famously, I called him Warren and made him take a picture like a bitch.
Yeah, Warren.
And he owns he's like the best Irish entrepreneur in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I'm like, Warren, hold this, would you? He's like, it's Warren. I'm like, yeah, I bet it is.
Sure, pal.
Yeah, sure, pal. Take this picture of me, Fitzy, and Ginty, would you? So Ed Sheeran played at the Dubliner, right?
Yeah.
And I talked about it on Bad Brain a little bit. Not sure if we talked about it last week, but like I looked it up. Like it's $3 million if you want to have him play like a private party. So obviously it was like he did it probably for his own social. I think he's a new thing coming up, but he's opening up a pub up in Ipswich.
Yeah, the old phone or something.
The old
like that.
phone, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's out there to see him. Let me just say, this is my one thing I'm gonna take on. So everybody,
He's opening a pub?
yeah, like he's a part owner of it or something.
Oh, okay.
So
I know he was there.
yeah. So
like
my only take
Friday,
on it
right?
is like the whole town comes out to see Ed Sheeran. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what? Fuck Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
This is my take. Oh, let's go fucking see this little redheaded fuck. Like,
Ugly fuck.
we all jump around to see fucking
That was
Ed
a
Sheeran.
dig, by the way. Redheaded fuck. That was a dig.
Wow.
That's all right.
I mean, big redheaded fuck would be for Fitzy. But like, I mean, I'm not specifically an Ed Sheeran music fan. Like, I think it's not for me. You know what I mean? It's for girls.
Yeah, he's one of the best quotes I ever heard was fucking, here's a new Ed, it's like Ed Sheeran's albums are like Kraft cheese. Here's what you bought. You bought Kraft cheese, 12 cheesy singles. Like it's not great.
No, it's not
songs.
great
It's
music.
Just catchy fucking.
Now listen, I'm
it's
not taking anything
pop.
away from the guy. He's done very well for himself.
He's great.
And I'm sure he
And
seems
I
like a
always
nice
root
guy.
for a ginger.
But I see him on the streets and all these people, dummies in Ipswich, are out there like, meh. And I'm like, dude, you're really fucking breaking your day up so you can go fucking suck this
Yeah,
kid's dick.
yeah.
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
He was
Like,
on Game of Thrones. You know that?
Was he?
He was in an episode of Game of Thrones. One episode.
He
not know
got
that.
killed by a dragon.
Arya, it was an Arya scene, and he's just sitting around by a fire, and he's like, I play
Guitar.
flute or whatever. The fuck
Skin
he
flute.
plays. Yeah, skin flute.
Red skin flute.
Did you like my YMCA bit last night?
I loved it. By the way, I loved it. And you know what the funny thing is? I feel like the origin was that story that we were going back and forth
Yeah,
on.
it was.
Yeah, and I didn't even realize that because
Dick jokes hit.
so the YMCA.
Every single person I think last night had a dick joke.
I feel like it's mid 50s. It's before you came on. The episode was called YMCA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was because I was like, people who go to the gym at YMCAs are fucking fucked up people. Like, it's not like a regular gym. And then Danny just went on this rant. We were both going back and forth about like
was
all the
awesome.
balls everywhere and
Yeah.
fucking people like just at the fucking
You
weird
just
hot
gotta
tubs
grow
and-
up at that point. That's it.
So you perfected it, dude, and I was proud of that because I'm like that origin came here. It was
It-
like
it absolutely
the,
did.
The popcorn kernel was
It
here.
absolutely
you know
did.
What I mean?
1,000%.
There's no place
million.
better than a YMCA to see an 8-inch scrotum.
Dude, it's the fucking worst. You see all types of fucking
Like
stuff.
elevator buttons, I've seen it all.
Just fucking long balls.
Gross. Staring at you. No, these old guys just didn't care.
No shame, dude. They're
Yeah.
just like fucking.
Just like, yeah,
fuck it.
this is going to be you
Yeah.
one day,
Good luck, now.
kid.
Yeah. But the other take I had to get out, which I didn't get out last week, which I did talk about on Bad Brain. You know what annoys the fuck out of me is like when I thought Celine Dion was supposed to be like, she has stiff person syndrome. She's supposed to be like stuck in carbonite, like fucking like Han Solo. And she's like at the TGL event the other night, like walking around. I'm like, dude. And then Bruce Willis is dancing with Demi Moore in a fucking video the other night.
Yeah,
Like,
doesn't he have
Is he supposed to be like
Lou
dead?
Gehrig's or something?
Buddy, I think we're all waiting on that day.
Dude, but he's like dancing. He looks like he's gonna fuck her. I'm like, dude, listen, this is making me start to believe in the Illuminati.
Yeah.
It's making me become like a Jumptown guy and a McCracken guy. Because I'll tell you right now, like, they're supposed to be dead and they're fucking just whistling Dixie around, fucking banging Demi Moore and watching Tiger Woods hit golf balls.
Look at Magic Johnson.
Yeah, no AIDS.
If that was one of us,
Oh, yeah. You just need money.
be dead.
If it was you that fucked that guy back then and then
Yeah.
got AIDS, yes,
Lucky
you'd be dead
me.
too. Lucky you. By the way, Sean O'Brien saw his material last night was insanely ridiculously and hilarious. Like race humor, I would call it that, right? Nobody was laughing harder in that place than Jovan.
Jovan. I just literally
Fucking dying.
And like, I wanted so bad. I wanted to get Will before he got on stage because he's the one that perfected this. He goes,
Oh yeah.
one black guy laugh
Laugh.
is equal to three white guys. But like, as I'm standing next to him right before he went on, I'm looking at my brother-in-law and I'm like, this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, once you hear that, you know you made it.
You know what it is? If you can pull that off, it means you're really good.
Yeah.
Because it's if somebody else says that but doesn't deliver it correctly, it just comes off as racist.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like Shane Gillis
Shane
gets
Gillis,
away with all that
he
shit
does
because
it
it's so fucking
unbelievable.
like perfectly
Perfection.
crafted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I thought Sean was fucking great. It was fucking awesome. I love
Everyone
that
killed
kid.
it.
Sean's always great. Every time I've seen Sean,
Yeah.
he's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, it was funny that you guys had basically the same outfit on last night too.
Dude, I'm like, this was not planned.
Yeah.
This was not planned.
Here's a quick behind the scenes story: is that when I'm walking around and
Sneakers were different.
yeah,
Let's not talk about sneakers today.
maybe on the Patreon.
Let's not talk about sneakers.
By the way, I went out last night.
That's a page.
To your point too, I did the same thing. I didn't even tell you this last night. So I put on my Smucker shirt and my like fucking navy blue pants, and I'm like, what do I got for kicks? And I was like gonna wear my brunts, but then I'm like you know if you have like a skinnier cut pant on, they just don't fit over the fucking
Right.
boots. So I'm like, I went right to the fucking store and got myself some fucking Nike Court Visions with the blue to match the pants. And I'm like, now the beard, I'm really becoming Danny. Like, I'm like color coordinating my sneakers to my pants for the night. You know what I mean?
Happens.
Yeah. But yeah, so a couple last sponsors. And we got a voicemail, by the way.
About to say, yeah,
One voicemail from a guy we haven't heard from in a few weeks.
gotta be Orlando.
You bet your ass it is.
Let's go.
I'm fucking fired up.
Yeah, I am too. So,
You hear that? That was me.
6 to midnight.
yeah, exactly. American Benchcraft. I was wearing an American Benchcraft belt last night.
So was I.
Me
You
too.
couldn't,
All three of
you
us.
couldn't tell, but
Yep.
I had it on.
All right, look, if you're watching on YouTube right now, which if you're not, subscribe to the YouTube. Look at that. That's a fucking Benchcraft wallet right there.
That's a wallet
And
too.
it's nice when it starts to break in fits.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Yeah.
you'll be like, give this to your kid one day, and be like, my father was a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Smells so good still.
yeah. AmericanBenchcraft.com, Union,
Veteran.
everything you want in a fucking company. Local. Good guys, local guys.
Hashtag Corker.
Hashtag Corka will get you 20% off. Get a belt. I have to get a new one. We'll give them to the next sponsor. The Success Lift. So we added a new member to the group, Steve Ballou.
Yeah, baby.
He's in there. Listen, everybody's getting healthier. Danny's getting bigger. We're getting smaller. I had 3 people come up to me last night. You know what the best part about this whole thing is? You know what I've had 5 times in the last month? Did you get taller? It's because I'm getting less hunched over because I'm less fat,
That's right.
right? So, yes, I got taller. I have a bigger dick. All these things have happened because of the Success Lift. If you're in the Patreon, you can send Brian a message on his Instagram or wherever you want to do it. Successlift@gmail.com, I think. Maybe. No, Brian at successlift.com. Regardless, send me a message and we'll get it to him. He can sign you up. $100 a month, and we're all in there every day reporting our steps. Today's not going to be great. We just had some pizza, by the way.
Great
Celebration.
pizza.
Get in there. I think it's really, dude, it's really working. Mohan looks fucking unbelievable. Bob C looks like a fucking horse right now.
Yeah,
He's fucking,
Looks very good.
he looks great. Fitzy looks great. People are asking me.
Bob C's jacked now.
Bob C is jacked.
Ripped.
Yeah.
looks fucking
And I'll tell you what it
in
is.
shape.
And I am going to just admit this is a fact. This would be the time right now. 4 people told me I looked great last night. That I'm just like, all right, I can eat Italian stuff this week. It's like when you're winning at the blackjack table, you're like,
Same.
I'm never going to lose.
Same.
Like, so the fact that tomorrow I know I'm going to have to disappoint my steps, I know that I'll be good all week, right? I know that I'll be fucking wanting to make sure I'm not getting back up, creeping back up my weight.
Yeah.
So it really is an accountability thing. And he does know what dude, for all the shit I like to give Brian, if there's one thing that kid knows about,
Master of his craft.
master of his craft. He fucking knows it all. He's a licensed nutritionist, I think. And he's 6'6". You can't get 6'6" on this app, unfortunately. You can't grow.
Unless you had the sneakers that Nate had on last night.
But let's go. This is what I was waiting for.
What?
I'm waiting for it.
What is happening?
Okay, here we go.
So now I want to be very clear. These sneakers I saw on TikTok, they're $19.99, right? And they just keep going across, and I go, maybe I'll get these for the gym. Now I don't need them because everyone knows I'm 6 feet, right? But these things add like 7 inches to your fucking body, apparently. And I happen to be hugging your sister, and her husband walks by, and I go, what is he wearing? And they are red. Like,
oh my God.
the
Spider-Man.
entire shoe he's part of the Bloods now. The entire shoe is red. And I go, did he get those off TikTok? And your sister goes, oh my God, how do you know? And I go, is he trying to get inches, dude? I've never seen anybody with him, but I am genuinely curious to see if they are comfortable.
So do you know the Seinfeld episode that this?
No.
Dude, there's a little person on Seinfeld that does acting with Kramer.
Okay.
His name's Mickey, right? And there's other little people actors that he's friends with, right? And he put lifts in his shoes, right? Which is a big no-no for them, I guess. And he gets accused of heightening.
Heightening.
So
Nate's been heightening.
Nate's heightening.
Nate's heightening
But
right
Nate's
now.
not. He has
not
no
small.
shame. He has no shame about it.
This
so
is the
he's
best part
out
about Nate.
He's out in the world telling people that
The best
yes,
part about Nate is
I
that
have
he
high
literally,
heels
he literally, yeah. I have high heels on.
He's like, I have no problem. I got high heels on. That's what Nate said.
Nate also told me, I've said this
Can you
many
hike
times.
in those?
So I was like, if you had to like, if you could get all your hair back, but you got to kill a homeless person cold blood in an alley, he's like, fucking give me the knife. He's like, I'll fucking
Surviving
gut
the
that
game.
guy. Yeah.
What a
all in the
movie,
game,
dude.
yo.
What a movie, yeah.
Yeah, Nate has no shame though. Nate will just be like, yeah, I'm just trying to get a couple inches on this thing. You know what I
I'm
mean?
gonna keep dropping Seinfeld references until you watch the whole entire.
I've
I know, but I want you to go through everything.
Oh, gosh.
every episode.
What does he have, 9 years?
He'll figure it out.
But I just don't understand how every woman in New York City is obsessed with Jerry Seinfeld.
Well,
It drives me nuts.
Get past that.
I can't.
Kramer, Elaine, and George are
Elaine
the
Smoke Show.
best part of
She
that
still
show.
looks the same.
Yeah.
Listen, while he's learning bagpipes, he can be watching fucking Seinfeld. He's got time.
Fitzy's on a heater. I feel like Fitzy just did a tight 5 right there.
That was good.
That was unbelievable.
That was
High
good.
heels.
See you at Cap
tight
on
thing.
Wednesday night.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'm
Imagine that.
gonna start
Imagine
writing.
I just text Will, I'm like, because he likes it so much. I'm like, hey, we want 3 spots
three
every
of us,
week.
yeah.
First off, that would
21 minutes.
He would do that.
Yeah, of course.
It'd be crazy.
I was texting him this morning. He's like, I had such a fucking great time last night. He's like, and I didn't overdo it. I easily could have with just hanging out with you guys. And then I texted him like, I'm a little hungover. And then he texted me a picture of Miller Lite. And he's like, I'm at my niece's birthday party. I'm like, let's fucking go. Will.
Yeah.
Let's
First thing
fucking
he said
go.
to me, he goes, I was like, have you ever been here before? Have you ever done a show here? He was like, I don't think so. I was like, oh, let me show you the members bar. He's like, Danny, I'm not drinking tonight. We walk into the members bar. I'm like, hey, I'm going to grab a drink. You want anything? He's like, yeah, Mick Ultra sounds good.
He couldn't help himself. He's hanging with the boys. You know what I mean?
When I tell you it was like 11 seconds in between that conversation, it's
Yeah.
just that hallway.
Dude.
You know what I mean?
How many times have you seen me do that in here where I'm like, I'm not drinking tonight. And Fitzy's like, you want a dipper? And I'm like,
The only
yeah, I'll
reason
have that fucking dipper.
the only reason I don't have a sun cruise is because I don't want to go around you. I would love to know.
We're gonna get you.
We'll get it for the Patreon.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna do a let's get
Quick voicemail?
Put the cans on. How are you? Hold on.
Turn my snare up. No,
Can you guys hear?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
little loud.
We're a little
turn,
loud.
Turn
We're a
mine
little
down
loud.
a little bit.
All right. I like how people always think it's a bit that I like can't get the headphones to work.
It's me, Orlando. How you doing, boys? It's Orlando coming and check in and say, hey, it's Itzy. How you doing, baby? Yeah. Okay, Orlando has a question for the boys. But first, Orlando has to say, Cali Caps, very gay. Look so stupid. Orlando no like, no bueno. Teehee. Okay. If you got $100,000 to microwave a baby for 1 second, but nobody would know, you do it? You tell Orlando.
Yes.
1 second, will that kill a baby?
No, I doubt it. Might give it a little tism or something.
I'd say no.
You're not doing it?
I wouldn't do that. No,
I don't think I can do
I
it.
couldn't do it.
Because
couldn't
what if
do
the
it.
baby
Wait a
died?
minute. No one knows?
Yeah,
No one knows.
but still, you can't put a baby.
What
in
if the
my
fucking thing
dude.
malfunctions and just
Yeah,
starts
fuck,
cooking that
dude.
baby?
Yeah, I can't do
Unplug it.
That's a lot of work, rip it out of the
that.
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
We're different.
How about this one? I heard this one the other day. It was You're gonna get fucking $10 million, right?
Okay.
I'm in.
Yes.
But your most beloved sibling, something's gonna happen to them, and they're gonna have to do a year in jail.
Oh, they'll be fine.
They're gonna
They'll
make
be fine.
a year is not a big deal.
10
What is
million?
it? 3 hots in a
10
cot,
million,
right?
So you can take care of them afterwards.
3 hots in a cot. They're fine.
10 million for Mark.
You can't tell them though. That's the thing. So you can't be like, "Hey, do you want to do this?"
No,
with me?
yeah,
I'll
I
split
know,
it.
yeah. But then when once he gets out, I can be like,
You could fucking. All right, he gets out healthy.
homie, I got to tell you something.
I don't know if he's been
The
raped.
whole reason why this whole year just happened to you is because
me.
I got $10 million.
I got a bunch of money.
Tax free?
Yes,
Tax free.
Yeah.
it's cash.
Yeah. fuck.
You
I
li-
think he would do it. I
Hey,
think-
you're
Fuck it,
living
yeah.
in Linfield now. You're good.
listen, if I knew
listen,
my sister had
Couple
the option,
bathrooms,
Yeah. Yeah.
rooms with windows.
you got that house in New Hampshire
Yeah.
that Mark has already.
Yeah.
He's already living his dream, but you just take it away
I
from
know,
him.
and I fuck him. And then he loses his job and everything. And I'm like, just like, bro, forgive me.
Yeah,
Here's a quick check, dude.
I would say this.
Then I don't even give him half. I'm like, here's $1 million.
No, you're like, here's 80 grand. Get yourself started again.
Figure it out.
If my sister had to make that choice, I would tell her to make it.
Oh,
Put me in prison for a year.
Honestly,
Yeah.
yes.
They're going to stick me in some fucking
if
pussy
it
ass
was his
prison.
choice,
Yeah.
I'd be like, dude, do it.
Yeah.
Right now, do
For
it.
sure.
No questions, dude.
Great. Think
Ramen?
about the content we would have when you get out.
You know how much ramen I would
Oh
eat?
my God. I have the fucking. Okay. We're going to have a taste test after this on the Patreon.
Okay.
So last night we were supposed to do a skip, but Will got there a little later than I thought he was going to. And Fitzy got there late.
I got there late.
So we had an idea for a skit where I was going to give Will a rider basket, like with like everything he asked for. So when I went to the mobile station, I tried to look for a couple of ridiculous items that like would be weird to ask for. I'm not going to give away the end of the skit because we might still do it, but I have in my car Marukan ramen flavored noodles, Funyuns.
Marukan?
Funyuns. What the brand?
Maruchan.
Maruchan.
Marukan, dude.
Marukan.
Marukan?
Yeah.
Hi, Dukin.
Pastelitos. kid.
Pastelitos.
Marukan.
So we gotta fucking
Javier.
try these things on the Patreon.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm down. Never pass.
I also think we should video record the Patreon from now on. What do you think of that? Let's
do it.
It's kind of a pain in the ass, but like,
Yeah.
not a pain in the ass. Just one more thing to upload. But
there's reels that we're
That's
missing
what
out.
I'm saying.
We're missing out on reels.
that's what I'm saying. Like, if we
Some
could have
reels.
got Justin saying
How are ya?
that he thought he was like, "How do you have you heard this?" He
Yes.
goes, "Yeah, Customato." He goes,
Customato.
I thought his name was Customato. Yeah. Like, I mean, if we had that reel, I think it would be the biggest reel like we've ever had. Like, it was unbelievable. How are ya?
Meanwhile, you'd think that, and it gets like fucking 60 views.
Yeah, I know shit. He went to Putnam Pantry the other day. By the way, follow Food Court. Actually, it's Run for Thirst.
Run
Forest.
Run Forest.
Run Forest.
Jesus
Whatever.
Christ. Words are tough.
Marukan.
Marukan. But he's like, dude, I'm just,
Confidence in Marukan's crazy.
I click on it. And he's like, I definitely didn't know how to say it. I was like, this is definitely wrong when I said it. I'm like, Marukan. The Marukans. Sounds like a family of like
It does.
fucking Eastern Europeans that live down the street. You know what I mean? Dude, Jimmy Marukan fucking punched that kid in the face yesterday. You know what I mean? Then he made a cup of noodles. Yeah, Justin was a Putnam Pantry. It would crack me up. He's like, Putnam Pantry. He's like, that delivery is so slow. It's like an Italian grandmother.
I love
how
him.
he talks. He's the best. Shout out Bones. Be a brainiac. Listen to Bad Brain. Anything else? Do we miss any
Misguided.
sponsors? Misguided Spirits. Let's not forget about that. They have signed on to do everything we want to do. Basically, is how it works. So they are going to be. We're going to have bottles of their booze at the golf tournament, not to drink on the course,
Oh, it's
but
you to
for the
take home.
winners and people
Yep.
to take home. So we'll probably have like a few cases of booze. So that's how we did raffles last year. Is that did we do a raffle for
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
That's what it was.
So we'll do some raffles for the booze. And I think Twisted Fate gave a basket. We did a few different things. Twisted Fate gave a gift card, maybe, or something like that. We'll do some little stuff like that, but we're not going to go wild because we don't have the horses to work that tournament like we want to. Maybe
Drink-
someday.
Drink
right?
Misguided. Popa Potty on Instagram.
Yep.
What's Misguided Spirits on Instagram?
Yes, Misguided Spirits.
MisguidedSpirits.com.
On Instagram. Drink Misguided is actually the Instagram. MisguidedSpirits.com. You can order their booze to go. I love their stuff. It's fucking awesome. I like a little sun cruiser with a little ice and then get a little floater.
Little topper.
Tell you right now, you want to not know how to pronounce Marukan.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
How do you pronounce it? Marochan?
Marichan?
Marochan. Is that how you say it?
Marichan?
There was some
Marochan,
unbelievable
I
Asian
think.
accents going on last night at the event.
Yeah, do you want to fuck with me?
Dude,
You want to fuck with me, big boy?
dude, I was fucking dying when you were doing that. Because you know what the funny thing is, I think, about the Asian accent? Here we go. This is how you get canceled. Everybody's got like a different one because it's like whoever you grew up around or whatever. I only watch Bruce Lee movies. So like whenever I used to imitate, my mother bought a dragon lamp. Did I ever tell the story? My mother comes home one day from like this place in Beverly with this lamp that's like covered in gold dragons.
Hell yes.
Right? And I'm like, so I just did basically like a Bruce Lee imitation. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, Mr. Hearn, you like fine lamp? You like a fine lamp with dragons? I'm like, how much you pay for this lamp?
There's a dude, Ben Bankus. You guys follow him on Instagram? He's a good follow. Ben Bankus. He's a Canadian comedian who moved to the United States because he was sick of
Tariffs?
Trudeau's nonsense and fucking all the shit that's going on up in Canada. So he's here and he's fucking huge. Ben Bankus. BenBankas. He's fucking hilarious. And the reason why I bring this up is because he was from I want to say Toronto, and Toronto's mayor, the mayor of Toronto, is an Asian lady. No accent. She has no accent.
Yeah.
But he does an accent and voiceovers her press conferences and shit. It's wild. It's hilarious.
I'm all in.
We should just start stealing that and just do it from Mayor Wu.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Be like,
Because she doesn't have an accent
No.
either.
Yeah.
Sounds like me and you.
yeah, be like, you cannot park in North End.
Fuck those Italian.
No outdoor eating.
You like spaghetti, you go to fucking Italy.
All right, listen. Thank you very much for everybody who came to the show. We're gonna do Patreon. We got some good stuff Patreon. I feel like this is gonna be 55 minutes at least.
Yeah, Patreon. A lot of stories.
There's a lot of stories from
last
behind
night.
the scenes last night that need to be told.
Yep.
By the way, it's $5 a month to be in the Patreon. You can get the heads up on the golf tournament.
Peanuts.
Peanuts. It's like what's cost $5 anymore?
Nothing.
Nothing. You know what I mean?
Our Patreon does.
Yeah. And by the way, I'll tell you right now,
It's
The
not
20
$5 a day. It's $5 a month.
$5 a month. Yeah,
That's
it's $5.
four extra shows for $5.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. And like I said, I was a Patreon member of Will Nunes podcast. I'm a Patreon member of like 2 other podcasts right now. And I think it's worth it. I think because a lot of the shit that we actually can't say on the show comes
Right.
up there. Which is, by the way, that's a limited amount of things that we don't say on the show.
I know.
So
We just did Asian accents for 10 minutes.
exactly. Yeah. We're going to talk about Jews on the next episode. All right. Listen, we love everybody. Have a great weekend. Go fuck yourself.